Hello friends, welcome to this month's coffee chat. November. Can you believe there's only 2 months left in the year? Part of me is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And the other part of me is like, this has been the longest year ever. So I can totally believe it, but whichever camp you're on, you know, it's here and that's what's up. So I am currently filming this a few days early. I usually do that, but I usually do like 2 days early. I'm like a week early, but that is what explains my super cute outfit. Today was crazy sock day for Red Ribbon Week. So I cheated and I wore leggings. So I got like Halloween leggings and then I was like, well, then I should wear my Halloween headband. And then I was like, oh, well then I should just go all out and wear my ghost earrings too. So we are full Halloween. We're ignoring that situation. We're in full Halloween mode here, but I'm gonna go alter my appearance a little bit because, you know, it's November now, so you don't want to see my Halloween stuff. So I'm gonna go upstairs, change my headband, change my earrings, make some coffee, and get started. Today, we're gonna have some really good things going on. We're talking about algorithm updates, woohoo, and that whole mess that has been the past couple weeks. We're talking about things that are coming up soon. We're talking about 2 different questions from y'all that are going to be really important, and at the end I'm going to tell you something that is a I want to say secret, but it's not really a secret. It's a very important thing that you need to be doing and implementing in your business if you want to ever be successful. So with that being said, let's grab some coffee. You can grab some coffee. I love these videos because they're super casual. We just kind of chit chat about what's been going on, what's up, all that kind of stuff. And I think I'm gonna try to set up in the living room. I don't know if the lighting's gonna be okay, but we'll go see. We shall see. All right, let's swap out for just like yellow. I'm gonna be wearing these candy corn earrings until it is socially acceptable to be wearing Christmas earrings, which I hope is soon because I don't know what it is this year, but like it was like September and I was like, is it time for Christmas yet? I'm ready this year. I want to make it happen. I'm not gonna start too early, but I would love to. Coffee, 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 pumpkin, everything. Sounds perfect. Look at me making a big deal about changing my headband and then sitting next to the witch hat and the Mickey jack-o'-lanterns. Oh well. All right, cheers to November. Hopefully October went well for you. I always like to hear from you down in the comments, so let me know in the comments, how did October go for you? What were you up to? What was going on? Mine stayed pretty good, so that's been good and surprising because there's been a whole big thing with the TPT algorithm, which we'll talk about in a second. But my birthday was in October. We had an excellent time. Went and saw Little Shop of Horrors, the musical. It was hilarious. I have seen the movie, but I was like really young. I'm still trying to eat my way through all of the cookies and cupcakes and brownies. Nyla did not gift me with the gift of sleep as I was hoping she would for my birthday. Instead, she wanted to wake up and celebrate with me really early. But, you know, she's a puppy, so they do that. So, speaking of October's been kind of a whirlwind for the TPT community as a whole because, if you have been on the Facebook groups, on the forums, any of that kind of stuff, you'll notice that TPT had an algorithm change and it has been a whole thing. So here's the story. Basically, TPT wants to get to personalized search where they are showing different people things that are more useful to them. So I teach elementary music. I see different things than someone who teaches high school band or someone who teaches piano lessons one-on-one because we all have different needs even though we're teaching the same thing. So that's basically what TPT wants. They just want it to be more personalized, and lots of places do that. Like Amazon does that, Google does that. That's why things that you often like or often visit pop up at the top. Pinterest does that. Like, it's a very common thing. So they started testing it with a small group of people. They shared it. Then they started testing it with everybody, and that is about the time that my video went out. It went like right before they started testing it with everybody, and then they started testing with everybody, and like the whole world was rocked because it was kind of a disaster. Not the best situation. Like, I know personally I would go and try to search for something, and I would search, like, I was looking for Thanksgiving parade clip art, and it would show me like math activities and like all these things that had nothing to do with what I was typing in, and everyone was having problems with that across the board. So as you can imagine, if someone's trying to find your resource or a resource that you know you have, or something they're typing in something you have a resource for, they can't find you. And so a lot of people experienced huge sale drops because of this whole situation. So people have come out and talked about it, and TPT scaled it back. So they were, like I said, they started with a small group, they went to almost everybody, and then they scaled it back to a smaller group so that way there's not, you know, as big of a difference. They can test things out, they can switch things, they can, you know, do all that kind of stuff with a smaller group before they go back to doing it with everyone. So the thing you should know is that personalized search is coming for everybody. It's not gonna look like it did a couple weeks ago when it was kind of messy, but it is coming. So just be aware of that right off the bat. As you are making your products, like, don't go searching your product, because what you see is gonna be totally different from what I see. So there's no more like looking to see if your product's on the first page. TPT has said they're looking into more like seller resources, since we can't do that anymore and stuff like that. They're also, again, testing and tweaking and all of that good stuff. The thing you should remember is if you are experiencing a huge decline in sales and it's like across the board normal, so is TPT, because they are wrapped up in our sales. So if everyone is having problems, TPT is having problems too. So they're not going to ignore us because we're not making sales, because that means that they aren't making sales. We're all, you know, tied together symbiotically. So they are tweaking, they're testing, things are happening. Take a deep breath, do that. In order, I have a whole video about the whole algorithm change and what you should do. I'll link that down below. But what you need to work on is your listing pages, making sure you have previews, making sure you have keywords, making sure that your listing pages are just like optimized as much as they can. That's something I need to work on, because a lot of my older resources especially are kind of rough. The other thing you want to make sure is you have a PDF preview, or a preview in that PDF spot, because that is something that they are going to be prioritizing more and more. With this algorithm change, what I want to talk about is specifically what I have been telling you forever. I remember a few months ago, I was kind of questioning myself, because so many TPT people were giving the advice like, oh, just focus on TPT search, just focus on search, just focus on search, like really focus on your store. And the whole time I've been like, no, you need to have an audience. You need to be driving traffic yourself. Like I've been saying these things. I literally, maybe a month ago, I filmed a video that's not out yet, but it's all about having an audience. And I literally said in that video, I was like, look, you don't own TPT, and TPT could do all sorts of things. It could go away, it could change, like these things can happen, and you need to be prepared for that. So here we are. And what I want to tell you is that you need an audience, because if you don't have anyone to talk to, if you can't sell your resources yourself, then you're reliant on the TPT algorithm, which means you're reliant on people going to TPT and finding you. And if you don't have any way to drive outside traffic, that's the only thing you can do. And frankly, that's not a huge amount of control, which I don't like. I like being in control of my business. So get an email list. Start working on social media, start working on a blog or YouTube or something, so that you can get an audience, so that when things happen, you can still send emails. You can still have people go from your blog to your TPT store and purchase things. I am still getting purchases on my store from blog posts and videos that I posted years ago. Like, not even recent ones. I mean, yes, also recent ones, but ones that I posted years ago have been doing well. I've been sending emails and getting sales, and all of these things have helped to keep my shop afloat. I think I'm a little extra like nervous about the whole situation, because my shop was just starting to go well when 2020 hit and virtual learning hit, and my sales went from like doing pretty well. I think I was almost about to hit my like first 4-figure month, and I was so excited, and it went to 0, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And that really opened my eyes into the fact that like, you need to diversify your income, you need to be in control of things, you need to like be doing these things to make sure that you can do this, especially if you want to do this full-time or long-term or anything like that. Like, you need to have processes in place where you're not as reliant on things that you don't own. You don't own TPT, you don't own Instagram, I don't own YouTube. Like, those are all things that I don't own, and those are things that I don't really have control of. So I always try to have backup plans. I don't have a perfect plan for everything. Like obviously my videos go out on YouTube, but I do try to get people onto my email list by, you know, sharing freebies that I have, just like we do for other things. But yeah, if you're really stressing, like you need to be marketing. I mean, that's the bottom line. I've been saying it for years, and now it's like everyone else is like, oh yes, you should be. You need to be marketing. So Pinterest, blog, YouTube, whatever. Pinterest will send traffic over that's not really good for building an audience, but whatever you choose, pick something and get working on it, because you never know what's gonna happen. So let's make it happen. Second thing I wanted to tell you, also kind of related to having an audience, is that there is typically a TPT sale for Cyber Monday. Now, they don't announce them super early, so don't say that very loudly because you don't want to do that. But what you do want to do is start prepping now, because you have like 3 weeks, you have the whole couple of days for Thanksgiving off. And in that time, you can prep your store for Cyber Monday to help make sure that your Cyber Monday sale goes well. So right now, I'm already thinking like, okay, what do I want to have posted by Cyber Monday? What do I want to promote this year? Are there videos I can make to help with that? Are there blog posts I can make to help with that? Because it's really helpful if you have like a blog or a YouTube channel and you can like post something right before the sale about a product and really kind of generate that hype, and then you can promote that during the sale and people are going there, oh, it's on sale, and it's a whole good thing. So is there content I can make that I can talk about whatever it is I'm gonna promote? What are the emails I'm gonna write? Like, what are those gonna look like? Are there things I need to make? Are there things I need to purchase during the sale? Like, those are all things you need to think about now. Are there things you can do right now? So for example, maybe you wanna like really hit up your email list, and maybe you wanna start making sure you're building that email list. You have 3 weeks to build your email list. You can make some reels and send people to your email list so that you have the most amount of people on your email list for the sale, so that you can send those sale emails. Start thinking about that kind of stuff now, and the more you can plan ahead, the more your business will be like an actual business and the less stressful it will be. And along with that, if you're wanting to do holiday resources, you need to start working on them like now, or like a couple weeks ago. If you want, especially like Christmas, like Hanukkah we have Thanksgiving the 24th. Hopefully you already have your Thanksgiving stuff out. Hopefully by the time this video goes out, my Thanksgiving stuff will be out, because my plan is by the 31st to get it up, or by the 1st, I guess. Hanukkah, oh no, Hanukkah's in December this year, looks like. Election day. Okay, Hanukkah is the first day of Hanukkah is the 19th of December. Excellent. And then Christmas is the 25th, and then New Year's being the 31st. So that's helpful because Hanukkah is a little bit later. Last year it was in November. But you want to make sure that you are doing, if you're doing anything for Hanukkah, anything for Christmas, any of those like holiday themed activities, Kwanzaa, that kind of stuff, make sure you're doing them now and make sure you're getting them posted soon. And I would say try to make sure they are try to make sure they're posted before that Cyber Monday sale. So like before Thanksgiving being your kind of deadline for yourself at the very latest. But the earlier you get it up, the better, because the more time people will have to see it and prepare and plan, the more you'll have to promote. No, you cannot have my coffee. Nyla is really interested in my coffee, and it kind of concerns me because she really doesn't need any. She's sweet and I love her, but she's like a ball of energy that never runs out. I'm pretty sure she never sleeps. She's very sweet. She's very cute and she's very smart. So, you know, she's got that going for her. And I'm hoping she'll grow out of the not sleeping thing. We shall see. Anyway, you want to make sure that your holiday resources are up, and the earlier the better, because then you can talk about them on Pinterest, talk about them on Instagram. Y'all, I've already been selling like, today's the 24th of November that I'm filming this, right? 25th of November. I have already sold some Christmas resources. Like, people are planning ahead. You know, I teach music, so we've been doing Christmas music in choir for like 2 months. So like, people are planning ahead. So go ahead and get those things up ASAP so that people have time to make them happen. Yeah, because the worst thing to do, and I have done this, I mean, been there, done that. The worst thing you can do is to have like a Christmas resource that you post like the week before Christmas break, because no one's buying anything the week before Christmas break because they're like, it's Christmas break, I'm not buying anything. Like we're gonna watch movies the rest of the week. So make sure you have that kind of stuff like up and out and ready to go so that it is early enough, because although it can, you know, rank next year and sell next year, which is what I have done that, and full disclosure, I did that like last year, and I knew full well that they weren't gonna do well, but I was like, well, I made them for my kids, I might as well just post them and they can sell next year. But I did that knowing it wasn't gonna sell much this year, which kind of stinks. So if you're putting all that effort into something, you want to make sure that it's going to sell this year. There's been so many holiday resources this year that I have cut and not done or rescheduled till next year because it got so close that I was like, people aren't gonna be able to buy them. What's the point? What's the point? So I saved them for later. So all of that to say, get prepared for Cyber Monday now. Start thinking about it now. Get prepared for holiday stuff now if you're going to do any, and you totally don't have to, but if you're gonna do some, get it now. Next up, I love to take some questions from you. Y'all, I went to UPS today because I had a return and the lady charged me $1 for a strip of tape. I was like, seriously? And then I had one from Amazon, and she did the Amazon one for free because it was not a customer package. It was a no box, no label one. I feel very ripped off. I was very mad about that. Anyway, I'm gonna take 2 questions from y'all. So one is from Kib Knight and asking about school access. So we talk about school access. School access is something you have to enroll in once a year. It'll start, I think, usually like February, sometime in the new year is when school access will be available. But school access basically means that teachers can get your resources at a discount through their school so they don't have to pay for them. It is a discount, but they go away. So like if they download it this year, then next year they have to re-download it and repay to download it, and an even more discount. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but that's kind of the basic gist of it. So the idea being that it is a discount, but people have to pay every year in order to use it. Now, can they just keep the file and reprint it next year? Yes. And that's the flaw with TPT School Access, is that it's such a discount and then that can happen. And so many TPT sellers don't enroll because of that. I enroll because I am a fan of teachers getting my resources, and I really like that they don't have to pay for them. I think that teachers should not have to pay for resources, which is ironic coming from someone who sells teacher resources. But you know, it's like, I don't know, it's the most insane thing. Like I was talking to Alex Baxter, if you know her, I love her. She has really good stuff. The Terrific Teacherpreneur is her handle. She's awesome. But I asked, she lives in Australia. So I asked her one time, because I always get Australians will ask me like, what's your best tips for Australians? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not Australian. And so I asked her like, what would you answer to this? And she said she always tells people to focus on the US market because the Australian schools are better funded, so they don't need to go to TPT for resources, which is super depressing. Now they still do, but still the concept being, if our schools were better funded, then we wouldn't have to do it. So my point being, I like that teachers can get my resources without having to pay for them. If the pricing issue is an issue for you, then raise your prices. That's kind of where I am. But I get a lot of sales from School Access that I assume I probably would not make otherwise, because people are, you know, purchasing through their schools, so they probably wouldn't purchase themselves, or maybe they wouldn't purchase as much. I'm a fan, I use it. Yes, it is discounted. Nyla, go outside. So that's the deal with School Access. You can only enroll at certain times of the year, which is not now. So look out for that in the new year, maybe like January, February, March. Look out for that in the new year and we can talk more about it then. I have one more question and then I'm gonna tell you a little thing that everyone should know. And so this one is from Ingrid. It said, the new thing now is mock-ups. How do you feel about them? Do you use or buy them? Do you make your own? So a mock-up is basically like making your digital stuff look like a picture. That's the best way I can explain it. So for example, instead of actually taking pictures of your products, having a mock-up, you would have like, it would look like a desk, and then you would put your screenshot of your photo of your product on top of it. And that would be what a mock-up is. Mock-ups have been around for a while and they are useful. I do sometimes use them. I will always prefer product photography because it looks better. You can fill out this stuff, especially if something needs to be like colored or something. You can fill out your resources. You can show what it looks like when it's done is a big thing. It's more visually interesting. It's more visually appealing. So I always prefer an actual product photo. However, I am a full-time teacher, as many of you might be. Don't eat the tripod. I am a full-time teacher, as many of you might be. And so sometimes it's like, well, do I wait 3 weeks until I have time to do product photography? Or do I just post it now with a mock-up? And so sometimes mock-ups or screenshots happen because they're the only way that I can get things done in a timely manner, because I like to do my product photography with natural lighting and I don't have natural lighting when I'm working all day long. So that's kind of my personal thing. It's like either I give up all my weekends, and if my weekends are busy, then I can't do it on the weekend. So it's just like a whole thing. Anyway, I always would prefer a product photo, but if that is not an option, a mock-up is a good time-saving hack. You can purchase mock-ups. I guess I kind of make my own. What I do is I go on Canva and I just search like desk, or you could even take pictures yourself of like desks. And I just look for one that looks good. You want something that's an overhead shot. And then I use that photo. If it's like an iPad thing, like a digital thing, you can use a frame that looks like an iPad or a computer. If it's a just like a worksheet, you can just put the worksheet down on there as the screenshot. I don't think they look as good, I will say. But they can be very, very helpful sometimes. And so sometimes there's like a time and place for them. And that's how I do mine, is I just kind of sort of make my own through Canva pictures. And that's what I do on mine. So that's my thoughts on mock-ups. Never as good as product photography, but sometimes a necessary evil. All right, so finally, one last thing I wanted to talk about today. I love these because I can like things that have been on my mind or things that people have been asking me and stuff I can talk about like in real time, because my other videos are like really scheduled ahead. So the other day I got a message which I thought was really funny, actually, I'm not gonna lie, on Instagram, and someone said something along the lines of like, I'm amazed by how many Instagram followers you have. Like, how did you get a following that big? Which I thought was really funny because I really don't have that big of a following. I'm at 7,000, which I think is really exciting because a lot of those came in the past year or two. But I've been on Instagram for like 5 years. Like, it's not like I've been on Instagram for a month and I have 7,000. It's like I've been on Instagram for 5 years and I have 7,000 people, and a lot of those people came in the last year or two. Really the last year, I would say. So that being said, I did want to answer and just share what I told them. I was like, look, it's been a long time. I told them like, it's been 5 years, like it's not anything new. And so the best thing I can tell you, and this goes with everything, goes with TPT, goes with Instagram, goes with YouTube, goes with blogs, everything, is that you have to show up consistently in order for anything to work. I don't have any magic secrets about Instagram. Yes, I do reels. Yes, I try to play by their rules sometimes I don't really care. But with that and with everything else, the main thing I can tell you is just show up consistently. The main reason that some people are successful is because they showed up and they did the thing and they stuck around when it got hard and gave it time to work. Most people will quit before it starts to work, and most people will quit before they get to the point where they actually can reap the reward. So if you can be a person who shows up consistently and sticks it out even when it looks like you're not moving forward, until you actually look like you're moving forward, then you will do well. So Instagram, for example, what I've done on Instagram is I've showed up. I have posted, depending on what time it's, at one point I was posting twice a day. Mostly, yeah, now it's like once a day. I've done 3-4 times a week before, just depending on what was going on. But I posted those when I had 50 followers and when I had 500, and when I had 5,000, and now that I have 7,000, like I'm doing the same thing. I'm still showing up, I'm still posting. Yes, I'm learning. Yes, I look at the best Instagram tips and stuff. Yes, I use Reels, like I do those things, but the main thing that has grown my Instagram account and my YouTube and my TPT is that I have shown up consistently no matter how many people were there. So focus on you, focus on what you can do, and show up consistently until it works. Because it'll work if you keep at it in the right way. Same thing with TPT, same thing with YouTube, same thing with everything. It will work if you keep at it and you work on it the right way and you show up consistently day in and day out. And honestly, I will say that has been the biggest thing in my business, is not that I'm the smartest, not that I'm the best. I'm definitely not the best educated. Like, you know, there's all these people floating around with doctorates and masters, and I don't have those things. But I have shown up and I have done the work consistently for years. I have worked in my business every day pretty much for years. And that is the difference between me and the people who have not found success, is that I have shown up and I have done the work. There's nothing special about me, nothing. I was not an overnight success. I am not special. I like nothing. I mean, not in like a mean way, like I'm, you know, content with myself, but I'm not special. I'm not extra smart. I'm not extra creative, like none of those kind of things. I just showed up. And if you can outwork the other people, and if you can show up for yourself, because that's really what you're doing, consistently, then it'll work. Even when it feels like you're not making progress, focus on what you're doing, focus on what you can do. Don't focus on the external factors that you don't have control over. And that will help you be successful. All right, friends, I'm gonna leave you with that little swift kick in the booty. So now you should go and make some products, or go write a blog, or go do something, you know, useful. Not that this video was not useful, but still, go do some work. I'm gonna go see what Nyla is into. Okay, bye. Oh, also, if you missed it, TPT is changing their name officially to TPT. The website's still gonna be teacherspayteachers.com, but the name is gonna be TPT instead of Teachers Pay Teachers. And they're changing the logo slightly. I don't really see the point in either of those things, because like, I feel like they're not really changing it, but they're doing that. So just FYI. Goodbye.